Wasila Tasio was 14 years old when she was convicted for the murder of her 35-year-old husband, Omar Sani, in a desperate attempt to be free from their arranged marriage. She killed her husband by poisoning his food with rat poison. Unfortunately, 3 other persons who ate the meal with her husband all died. She confessed she killed her husband because she doesn't love him and was forced into marriage by her father. Udeme Otike Obidi killed her husband and cut off his manhood. This happened in their Lekki home in Lagos State, Nigeria. Udeme, who was a lawyer, stabbed her husband to death and also mutilated his corpse by cutting off his genital. Her reason for committing the crime was because her husband was having extramarital affairs, and whenever she raised the issue up, his response were not always satisfactory to her. The case of Rachel Adesaf is a little twisted. She didn't just kill her husband, but also killed her 3 children before taking her own life. Neighbors revealed Rachel was always fighting with her husband. On one of such fights, she was seen with a pistol trying to smash her husband's car. The police were called, and when they got to the residence, they found Rachel's husband foaming from the mouth with his throat slit open. Their 3 children were found dead, and also Rachel was found lying in the pool of her own blood. Please click on the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet, and turn on the notification bell so you'll be the first to get notified when I drop the next video. You can as well comment subscribed. I'll be glad to give you a welcome hug in the comment section. A Myeongbong Isonguyo conspired with her pastor to kill her husband. Their plan was for the pastor to wait on the route her husband takes to work and ask him for a ride. Their plan paid off because the man stopped and picked the pastor up with the intention of giving him a ride. Along the way, the pastor brought out a sharp object and hit him on the head, and he passed out. He proceeded to sipping out fuel from the car petrol tank and burnt him beyond recognition. After committing the crime, a Myeongbong transferred millions of naira to the pastor's account and also gifted him landed properties which belonged to her deceased husband. They were eventually arrested and sentenced to death by hanging. A.K.A. Hato was arrested by the police and charged to court for killing her husband by violently grabbing his scrotum and squeezing it till he died. Eke was regularly having misunderstanding with her husband anytime he returned home late, and often accused him of having extramarital affairs with other women. On the day of the murder, the victim came home late as usual and was confronted by his wife. He got angry and slapped her, and she held onto his scrotum tightly and refused to let go even when the man was screaming for help. She held his scrotum until he collapsed and was rushed to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Alta Dogo Singe killed her husband so she could go back to her former lover. Singe conspired with Garba Hassan and Sahabi Garba and killed her husband. This happened in Sabongari village in Kebbi State, Nigeria. She was arrested alongside the 2 men she conspired with and charged with murder. Augustina Ihuba, a mother of 4, killed her husband after they had a misunderstanding. On that day, she went to her husband's place of work armed with a dangerous chemical. She poured the acid on him, set him ablaze and ran away. The deceased was rushed to the hospital but eventually gave up the ghost. The case of Moyebade happened in Pretoria, South Africa. She appeared before a magistrate court in Pretoria for the murder of her husband, who she killed by poisoning. She poisoned him to death and kept his body in the apartment for 4 days before approaching the man to help her dispose the body and be compensated with staying with her rent-free. The man at first pretended to agree to her offer but went to the police and reported the case. Ryan Sander killed her husband by stabbing him to death following an allegation of infidelity after seeing a text message on his phone. The case even got the attention of the international media, and after trial, she was sentenced to death by hanging. Victoria Gagarida was 30 years old when she was sentenced to death by hanging for the murder of her husband, Henry Gagarida. The victim, who was a lawyer, was cohabiting with the culprit for 4 years before they legalized their union in 2014. On that fateful day, at their home in Bayelsa State, Nigeria, Victoria stabbed her husband on the neck following a misunderstanding centering on infidelity. Let me interrupt the story to remind you to please subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so, and also give this video a thumbs up so it will get to more people. I really appreciate your support. Henry Katanga was shot dead after a quarrel with his wife Molly at their home in Kampala, Uganda. Katanga, who was a businessman, had returned home at a wee hour of the morning after partying with his friends. This obviously got his wife enraged. They quarreled for a few minutes before a loud bang was heard from the bedroom. The daughter Tricia rose to her parents' bedroom only to find her dad lying dead in a pool of his own blood and his mother lying unconscious on the floor of the bedroom. The family of the deceased said Molly shot and killed her husband during their fight, while Molly's family claimed Katanga beat his wife up so badly that he thought she was dead and decided to commit suicide. Kunle Oyebanjo got married to his wife in 1999 in Oyo State, Nigeria. They lived happily and had 3 children. 3 years after their marriage, Kunle met with another woman in Abia State while he was at a function for work and lied to her he was divorced and his 2 children lived with his mother in the village. The other woman believed his story and got married to him after 6 months of persuasion. Kunle kept the secret for 15 years, but one day, he was coming back from Abia State and had an accident and went into coma for 2 months. This led the 2 women in his life to come in contact with each other while visiting him at the hospital. Kunle's second wife shared the betrayal and deceptive story to Mrs. Favor Oyebanjo. An act of anger and feeling betrayed by the one she loved with all her heart, picked up a knife and stabbed him multiple times and also stabbed herself to death. Mr. Felix Solomon was killed by his wife, Tayo Lolu Solomon, after they had a fight. This happened in Ondo State, Nigeria. Felix had been having lingering marital crisis with his wife, and after such fight, his wife went over to where he was lying down and hit him on the head with a pistol. According to their son, who was present at the scene of the murder, he said, on that fateful day, a minor argument had ensued between his father and mother, which resulted to a fight. After the fight, his father went to lie down on the chair, and his mother went over to where he was lying down and hit him on the head 3 times with a pistol. And when she found out he was unconscious, she hid the pistol at the back of their house and ran away. Mr. Felix was rushed to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Temitope Adebabiru killed her husband over infidelity claims. She told police she killed her husband because he had cheated severally on her in the past since their marriage and even slept with their nanny's daughter and her own sister. Douglas Ajemini, a staff of the Rivers State Primary Health Care and a mother of 4, was arrested by the operative of the Inspector General of Police Special Intelligence Response Team in Rivers State for the murder of her husband. She confessed she had called a man named Kingsley Nna to help her kill her husband. Her husband was eventually killed and she buried his corpse in a shallow grave. When asked why she killed her husband, she said it's because he abandoned her to live with another woman. Janet Jegede killed her husband by stabbing him with a knife on the chest, following a misunderstanding about his cheating habits. In a statement received from the deceased son, he said he received a call from his stepmother asking him to come take his father to the hospital because she had killed him. When he got home, he met his father in the pool of his own blood with a knife stuck on his chest. He removed the knife and this increased the amount of blood gushing out of his injury. He went outside and called neighbors and they took him to the hospital where he was pronounced dead on arrival. He further revealed his stepmother had in the past asked him to warn his father to stop cheating on her. He said she threatened to kill him if he didn't stop, and she eventually did. What do you think about these women who kill their husbands? What advice can you give to couples, especially the young ones? Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. See you in my next video.